You're listening to the Reluctant Adult Podcast. If you like what you're hearing, follow us on social media and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. This is the way.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. There's a million.
This week from the internet, Santa Claus is coming to town, but he's not coming alone. Fresh Monkey Fiction knows Santa's bowl full of jelly can't jam those toys down your chimney all by himself. Plus, Godzilla Minus One equals profit. And NECA is feeling lucky after packaging 8 rabbit's feet in one exclusive Ninja Turtles box. If you don't like your job, you don't strike. You just go in every day and do it really half-assed. That's the American way. It's the Reluctant Adult Podcast.
Don't you be a dummy! Buckle your safety belt!
Think, Billy. It's morphin' time!
Welcome to another episode of the Reluctant Adult Podcast. My name is Paul, and I am joined, as always, by the man who's naughty and or nice, Bill.
Hi, everyone. I'm equal parts. Every day.
Every day. Sweet and sour.
How
Naughty
I live my life.
We took the kids to see Santa today to get some photos at the mall. Have you done that with your babbins?
Not yet.
No.
We haven't gone to the mall Santa
Time's ticking.
for a while.
You still haven't.
We
even
find
done
other
Easter Bunny for
Santas.
this year.
There's so many other Santas.
You just find them along the way. That happened to us. There was like the Christmas tree shop before that closed down forever.
Right.
They had a great Santa last year. I think that ended up being our Santa because why try again? That was a
Christmas
good
tree
Santa.
shop Santa.
Yeah, but he's gone now, obviously. Coles did it one year, and it was the worst Santa. Like clearly, they just grabbed someone
Yeah.
from the staff, and like they don't employ anyone that looks jolly. So it was like a really thin, timid Santa. It was terrible.
Yeah, that's what you would get with your traditional Kohl's Santa.
Mm-hmm. Coles was the name of the department store in the remake of Miracle on 31st Street.
Oh, really?
Oh, 34th Street. Excuse me.
Eh.
Is that a famous street? Is that like the one where the parade goes down? 31st Street. In an improv class last week, we were practicing doing Christmas characters for this game called Party Quirks, where the audience assigns us each a Christmas character from popular media. And I was like, oh, I'll be the guy from It's a Wonderful Life, because he just runs around being like, Merry Christmas, bank, or whatever he says. The savings and
Merry
loan.
Christmas movie house.
Merry Christmas. And then they're like, oh, and then like the point of it is the host has to guess who you are. So he was like, oh, you're this person. I was like, I don't even know the name of the character. I just know that one part from the commercial they would show promoting the movie, but I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Never watched it. Never will. Well, I don't know if you can tell by the theme of what we're talking about, but it's very close to Christmas, and we are clearly in the holiday spirit. Look at us. We're decked out in tinsel, red and green from head to toe. So I thought our top story this week should be the announcement of Series 3 of Fresh Monkey Fiction's Naughty or Nice collection.
Wow.
So for those unfamiliar, this is the line of Marvel Legends-esque Santa Claus figures. So this is like normal flavored Santa from the first series. So this is sort of a Kickstarter situation. I mean, it is, because if they don't get enough, it doesn't happen. As we saw with their Halloween attempt at this, which did not get fulfilled, so it's not happening. But back to the well with Series 3 of Naughty or Nice. This is the first one. Series 2, unfortunately, does not look like it's going to make it for Christmas this year. If you remember,
No.
2 years ago, it was a Christmas miracle that these actually got here in time for Christmas. We didn't think it was going to happen. And then we all got that email from Big Bad Toy Store where it's like, guess what? Guess what? So it was very fun. I was, enamored with them for about a week. And then by New Year's, I locked them away. And this is literally the first time I've taken them out of their drawer since then. But they are very good figures. There's even a zombie Santa. There he is.
Oh, no. He ate the wrong cookie.
So, Series 2, people should be getting those in the new year. But Series 3 went up for pre-order, and as is the tradition with these, there's just lots of different versions of Santa. So this time they have a Storytime Santa with sort of a dress shirt, like he has taken off his coat and he's settled down, and he's either going to read himself a story or he's going to read the children. I'm not sure. There's a red Krampus, so if you like the evil version. There's a green camo, which it seemed very similar to this red and green camo, just with darker colors, like a more realistic camo. So if this was like too unfaithful to how camo works for you wanted that more realistic camo, it's coming at you. Then there's a Winter is Here Santa, and the gimmick here is the alternate head looks a lot like the Night King from the Game of Thrones. So there's a little play on words there. And then there is Wizard Santa, which is the worst one in my opinion. But if you like wizards, here's a nice blue coat with some twinkling stars on it. And then finally, Father Christmas, which is very similar to what the Four Horsemen put out in their Figure Obscura line. But this one has the green coat and the wreath around his head. So more of your traditional old school Santa. But that's all well and good. If you want more Santas for your Santa army, fine. The big deal here is that they're doing reindeers. Reindeers. So this, let me pull this up. There are a bunch of them. So there's individual figures for Dasher, Donner, and Prancer, and then you can buy a reindeer head pack, which includes alternate heads for Vixen, Blitzen, Dancer, Cupid, and Red Nose, because apparently Rudolph is a trademarked name, so they can't call it Rudolph. So we have to call him. They have to like be very sly. Who could they be talking about? And then there's because this is what they do. They do like an evil Santa. Well, you got to have your evil reindeer. So there's Gorgon, I think. I couldn't really tell using the script they used for their font, or their font they used for the text. I couldn't really read it. But he's a goat demon. And then there's Rotten Hoof, who is a zombie reindeer to go with your zombie Santa. Perfect. So I honestly,
there's also
I would love
a fiery one. Isn't there like a red to go with your Krampus?
That's the goat one, yeah.
Is he? Yeah. I thought that was black.
Oh, is there a red reindeer?
Yeah.
I don't see a red reindeer. The black one has fiery hooves. Maybe that's what
I'm thinking of. Yeah.
So. And then there is a saddle pack for both the evil reindeer and the regular reindeer. So I guess if you want to ride them, but there's no sleigh. Like, we got to have the sleigh to hook up all the reindeers. Other than, what do we just put them in their paddocks, or what is it? Like where they wait and you feed them carrots. Like, we need a sleigh to hook them up to. The stable, thank you. We need a stable. So I guess they're trying to get these done first. It'll be interesting if these get funded, and it looks like they're well on their way. Everything is at least halfway towards its goal.
They also have larger ones and smaller variety this
for the
year.
Santas.
Yeah.
So they do like the elves in 4 points or 5 points of articulation, which I never really felt like is a good deal, because it's like, well, Santa has Marvel Legends style articulation, but then you give these guys the 5 points and they're still $20. I don't know about that, but they're doing Santa in that smaller style for the $20 and with the 5 points of articulation. So if you want Santa to go with your Luke Skywalker, I mean, I could see that being a thing. But for me, I need that Black Series 6-inch.
Your Santa wizard.
But I just wonder if the reindeers get funded and they have that mold, they're going to be able to reuse it next year. What other reindeer variants could they possibly do?
Cyborg?
Cyborg? Sure.
Army reindeer?
Army, that would be good.
Yeah,
you need you need like a partner reindeer for all the Santas.
Yeah, you need partner reindeers.
I wonder if they could replace. I mean, they can replace the head, so I wonder if they could replace the head with like a different animal. Does a reindeer's body work with like a wolf head or something? It's got hooves. I don't know how creative they can get. So if you want the reindeers, they're $45 each. So that adds up pretty quick if you want a whole army of them. And then Santa is only $38. But I guess the reindeer is a little bigger, or he's in scale. He looks pretty sizable,
very large.
Yeah, he does. He looks really impressive. I mean, it'd be a big figure.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't need this, but like, just looking at how big Santa is, maybe I do need this.
This would be your definitive reindeer. You don't need any reindeer after this. So
that's true. That is a good way to sell it. This will be the last reindeer you ever need to buy, unless Burger King brings back the floppy beanbag reindeer. What was his name? I love that guy. So like, if Burger King brings back Rodney, that's you still need him. But if this is your action figure reindeer, one and done. So hop on Big Bad Toy Store. They are the exclusive retailer of your naughty or nice stuff. Fresh monkey fiction. We're still waiting on that what's that? It's like the like Monster Force or something from them.
Oh yes.
I feel like they keep showing us new stuff, but it's like not coming out until
it's all gonna come out at once.
25.
Just take all your money all at once. If you're
all your
in it.
money.
Yeah.
No one will have money by then. What happens then? What happens then? What happens to toys when nobody has money? We'll still buy toys, right? We'll just be like, well...
Yeah. If nobody has money, you just wait and go to places like Ross. Where you can spread your money out.
Your money goes a lot farther. You don't have a Ross, correct?
Closest Ross is New Jersey, which I'm not taking that trip.
It might be worth it, honestly. It might be worth it. The stuff
From what I've
we're finding this year, my goodness. So I ventured out. This season, I've been trying to go to Ross as much as possible because every week, every day, it seems like there's something new popping up and like good stuff. That's the thing. And it's not like Ollie's, where I feel like Ollie's on face value, it's like, wow, lots of Marvel Legends, lots of really old Star Wars, but it just feels like it's been like the same product for months and months and months. They didn't get new holiday stuff.
No.
All right, Ross it all went to Ross, and then TJ Maxx got those starting lineup figures. So between those two stores, so I walk in there, right off the bat, they have a table up front with a ton of pops. And like with pops, I'm very particular, but there are some that just sort of like stand out to me. And they had a lot of the Funko website exclusive ones. So these are ones that you would never find in stores. In theory, you could only get them through the Funko website, but clearly they had too many, so they shipped them out to these closeout stores. Yes. So they had the Disney villain train, which is a set made up of Maleficent, who's the conductor. She's like the large train. And then there's carts with different villains like Ursula and Captain Hook. And they had those three characters. And I was like, I had them in my cart. So these are all the things I was going to buy. They had Black Series Baby Yoda with his pram. I was like, don't mind if I do. $6. Don't mind if I do. They had another G.I. Joe classified figure. It was like a blue version of that fire guy.
Barbecue.
Yeah. They had some other pops that I was like, don't mind if I do. $5, cheaper than Five Below. Five Below sells them for $5.99 now. They had like that Buzz Lightyear from Lightyear without the helmet on. I was like, oh, that's all right. There was a from the movie Brave. The main character is, what's her name? Merida. They had like, I don't even know what it was. She was in a gold dress and it came with a pin, and it was heavy. I was like, is there part of this that's made of gold or metal or something? So I was like, for $5, I'm going to investigate. So I throw that in my cart. Heading back, they had the Hasbro Lightning Collection Lord Zed roleplay helmet. That thing that was like close to, if not more than $100 a year ago. $30. You could pick that up. You could be Lord Zed for Halloween. They had Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, or however you say that. I don't even know what this is. Where was this sold like at Target? I never saw this in person.
Yeah. No, this was sold. This was at Target.
Your Target has all this stuff like the
e-tailers.
helmets and stuff that I've never seen.
Yeah,
in
it's
my
weird.
Target.
You go and you don't see a lot of stuff, but then all of a sudden you see Agent Carter's shield or whatever.
Captain Carter shield?
Yeah, Captain
You
Carter's
saw that at
shield.
Target?
Target. I saw two of
Where?
them.
How
And
would
you know
that
what? They're
even
gone
fit?
now.
How
They're
would that
gone.
even fit?
You should have. It looks absurd. They have it
Yeah.
in the action figure aisle next to the Legends, and it's just like they carved out a spot where they just don't put any figures,
Sure.
and they just have the shield there, and you're like,
Somebody's gonna.
"What? Why aren't you at Ollie's right now, sir? What are you
Does that
doing
fit
here?"
under the kick plate? I'm gonna hide that until it goes to
Yeah,
clearance.
right.
So that's another thing that Ross had. So just a ton of stuff. So I was just filling up my cart because why not? It's just like it's the season. You know, we're never gonna see prices like this again until next year. But then I go to check out, and the line literally stretches to the back of the store. There's
Wow.
2 cashiers and no hope of there being more cashiers. And I'm just like, is this pile of stuff that I don't need worth like an hour? That was guesstimating that it would take an hour to check out.
Oh my.
And I'm like, I could probably go like work and make enough money to buy all this stuff at full price rather than to buy it at clearance. So I was like, all right. I just left, and this is the thing, I just left it in the cart and just like left it in the clothes. So if somebody comes, it's like that dream of your
Instant shopping.
and you just come across a cart. It's like, this is all the shit I wanted. What a
Somebody
great day.
shopped for me.
Mike,
Perfect.
it's the super secret shopper. You just leave like carts. That's actually a very good idea for retail. Just leave fully loaded carts around and see if people are like, oh, it's like the equivalent of an Easter basket where they do like random things they fill it with. Where it's like,
that should be.
Yes.
That should be a subversion of like Instacart, where the person does like 90% of the work for you, and then you show up and just do the tail end of it.
It's got some impulse items in there, like fun stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that like I never thought of buying that. Maybe I will. Oh, I would like a soda stream. Okay, I'll check that out.
Oh.
So there's an idea for your Target. Just leave fully loaded carts around your store.
Yeah.
So, people have been posting their hauls from Ross. Lots of fun stuff. I do wonder if it'll continue. We saw lots of Mattel He-Man stuff prior to this. So now it seems like it's Hasbro's turn because we're seeing these larger role play. Like someone had Black Panther's helmet. I don't know if there's an Iron Man helmet. I feel like there was something else.
No
like
mold
lots of
on
stuff.
any of these, right?
Well,
They're
I guess
mold-free?
that's the question. Yeah, that's the question. At least with these, they're like, a lot of this current Hasbro stuff is the plastic free. So if it did have water damage, I think it would be a little easier to see because it would probably like be warped because it wouldn't have the plastic to hold it in there. So, hey, there's a benefit of your plastic free packaging, like easier to spot mold, easier to spot water damage.
I'm happy seeing all these people find stuff at these retail sites and myself not needing them and being like, it's cool to enjoy other people's happiness. I don't really
that's
need
nice.
that. You know? It's nice.
You
it's
just
weird.
got your second house.
Yeah. So I don't.
It let the little people have their toys while I enjoy my 4th bathroom.
Oh, yes.
Oh, let's not go to that bathroom. Let's go to the good bathroom.
Yes.
Do you have a good bathroom? Have you designated your bathroom yet?
It's as fun as it sounds, owning a second house attached to your main house. It's a lot of work, and we really haven't done much with it.
Oh,
since
you were
we got it.
You were so gung ho at last week. About,
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna go paint. I'm gonna go.
I
Did you
know.
break the hole? Did you penetrate the wall?
Oh, so that's a funny story. I started it yesterday, and I had all my momentum, and then work called, and they were like, "You have no closing associates. What is your plan?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm like in the middle of doing fun stuff that I enjoy, and I just completely ruined my momentum." So
Damn it.
I got 3/4 of that done, and I had put a hole slightly on our side of the wall, which terrified my son.
Sure.
So like he's in the hallway, and all of a sudden he sees the hallway light from the other side of the house piercing through the door. I mean, through the wall. And he's like, "What's going on there? The door's cracked. The wall's cracked."
Uh-oh.
You have to fix it, Dad. And I go, I can't fix it. It's a hole in the wall now. He's like, no.
What can you do?
And then he woke up, apparently. He fell asleep because I went out to the movies last night. We'll get into that a little bit later. But he woke up, and I had forgotten to turn off the hallway light. And there's just light peering out from a small little... So that got me thinking, maybe I should carve, like, a scary jack-o'-lantern face into the wall tonight.
That leads right into
and then leave the hallway light on so it backlights it, so it looks very demonic.
No, what you need to do is you need to before you do like the full size door, you need to do tiny doors like Alice in Wonderland. It's like you have to be able to, like, scurry through. Can you fit?
Here's your tiny little hole, children.
Yeah, you gotta fit. Well, that's fun.
That's a good idea.
I look forward to hearing your update. I really think you should vlog the process of this because it's a very unique situation.
My wife just wants a kitchen, and she's got the kitchen people down, and they gave a quote, and I'm just like, how are we paying for this? Oh,
I see some money hanging behind you.
No, it's my money.
It's my money. Listen, you got 2 house problems, all right? I don't know what to tell you.
Right?
You got 2 kids, you got 2 houses, you got 1 wife, you got lots of toys. There's your math.
Take the house. Yes, there's the math. Good thing this stuff's worthless.
I know. I just
the money's gone.
So, yeah, I know. Nobody's buying especially right now.
And nobody's buying
anything.
Nobody's buying.
Not until they get their tax returns. I listed a couple of things like a month or so ago. I took a bunch of photos of stuff that I, in theory, want to sell because it's just like in closets or something. And like it just like those photos just sat on my phone. They're just sitting there. But finally, I was like, it's so easy to list something on eBay, especially now because you don't even have to write a description. There's a button that says, "Do you want AI to write this description for you?"
Oh,
and I'm like, yeah. Nobody even reads the description because then they'll like message you being like, question. It's like, well, if you'd read the description. So, anyways, I listed a bunch of stuff. I don't know. I feel like I've been shadow banned on eBay because the views, not even like watchers. If you know eBay, people can watch your auction because like maybe they're interested in it later or they just want to see like how much it's going to sell for.
Sure.
No watchers, 0. The views are like 1, 2, 3. I remember I used to list stuff and it would be like 100 people viewed this by the end of the day. There's stuff on there for months. It's got like 10 views. So I don't know if this is a me problem. I don't know if eBay, like you can, when you list something, you can choose to have it promoted. Maybe like the people that are being promoted are just like overpowering us non-promotion people. I don't know what the problem is, but I guess like if I really wanted to sell something, I would probably just go on Facebook because then I don't have to pay eBay's like 13% fee.
Sure.
It's crazy.
That is,
here's
wild.
Here's more than a tenth. Here's almost a quarter after everything else. Here's a quarter of what I made. Yeah, just for the convenience of it. Thanks so much, eBay.
Right.
That's why
it does seem more convenient to go on Facebook and do it.
It does, yeah. And then if you sell to someone local, maybe you get murdered. Maybe,
right. I'm hoping
make a
to
best
get murdered
friend
tomorrow.
Maybe you get murdered.
We'll see.
You never know. It's a fun adventure when you sell on Marketplace.
It is. Choose your own adventure.
Choose your own adventure. Do you really want this? Do you really want the money for it? And then when people have like large sums in cash, I'm like, what's your deal? What you got going on? Where'd you get all that cash? Who even has cash, let alone lots of cash? You know who doesn't have cash? People, or they don't have cash to buy these NECA exclusives because it doesn't seem like they're doing too well.
Oh,
Did you see these new NECA exclusives?
The
Usagi,
Mirage
Jimbo.
Last Ronin. Oh, that one. The Year of the Rabbit one.
Year of the 4. Hey, you big Usagi fan? You want a new figure? You want 2 you want 3 you want 4 rabbits in one box? How about that? What do you think? What was the thinking here? Like what? They just want to be like done with this character?
No, I think people really do like that rabbit a lot.
Yeah. But then why not spread it out? Why got to put it all
It's
when
true.
you put 4 of one thing in one box? To me, that feels like we just need these gone. Like we're going to hit the super fans and then that's it. We don't think any like just general fans are going to care about this.
Right, like general fans like me. I have no interest. I have the one and I'm happy with him. And I'm only happy with him because I'm like, I had the original one from the Playmates line. He was great.
Sure. And then I had it from the 2000 whatever series with the Fox series, which I think it was a terrible figure. It had like no torso articulation, or like it was in a weird spin pose or something.
Okay. Oh.
Now I want to find out. Here, you talk for a second while I look this up.
Well.
And then what's the other set? Professor Perry?
Professor Perry was there, and then they had the Last Ronin figures. It was just a big... And these aren't even exclusive to the NECA site. They just have first, obviously they've first distribution rights, like first to purchase from their site. So these will all be at Target.
Well, hold on.
At least the Last Ronin ones.
Okay,
not the
that's what I was
Professor
gonna say.
Perry's.
I think that was a big point of contention where the story was changing, but now I think that Usagi and Professor Perry is exclusive to Shop NECA.
That's fine, because that's a tough. I would find those tough figures to move.
Right. Well,
to be honest
again,
with you, at retail.
when you put the two, like we got two Professor Perrys, we got four rabbits. Like, what's going on here? Okay, I did find a picture of this 2000X figure, and his arms are out like
Perry
this,
dressed.
and they can rotate like like this, but they can't move forward. So he's just got swords. So that was an annoying figure. But again, the sculpt.
Why was he a professor? Why wasn't he a? I'm sure he was a doctor, but why was he a professor? They were like, hey, we need to clean up this hazardous waste site. Get a professor. Pull him from whatever university.
I mean, if you are a professor, I guess you could just have a master's. You wouldn't necessarily need. Maybe he didn't have his doctorate. Maybe there's a whole backstory here where he was writing his dissertation.
Baxter story.
Baxter story, where he was right, because why wasn't he just Baxter? Why did they? Yeah. Why was that a thing in the movies where it's like you did Toka and Razar instead of Bebop and Rocksteady? Like, was that a rights thing? Like they couldn't.
No, I think at that point, Bebop and Rocksteady had kind of become a little bit buffoonish in the cartoon, and it always had been.
More so than these baby characters.
Right, so they wrote them. They wrote these two guys as babies. But yeah, no. I think Rocksteady and Bebop at that point had been very played out.
Okay, well, I guess we forgot because then everyone was clamoring for them to come back in the new versions of the movies.
Yeah.
So needless to say, I will not be picking those up. But that's fine.
No.
You were excited about this Playmates Secret of the Use 4-pack.
What a surprise that was. That just popped up out of nowhere.
Toka, Razar, Super Shredder, and who's the fourth one? Did you get it?
Movie? I did.
It already happened? It's here?
Yeah, it's here.
I thought this was a pre-order. My God.
Yeah. So,
Soto.
Super Shredder, Toka and Razar, and...
The Foot Soldier?
Movie Foot Soldier.
There you go.
Yes.
Do you have the originals to compare it to? Like right off the bat, I think Razar doesn't have paint on his nose, which always bugs me. They did that with someone else
Toka.
too.
I did open them.
Toka looks good.
Just to look.
I like Toka.
He's a little darker.
Okay. But that's not necessarily a bad thing.
They missed an opportunity here, and I'll tell you where they missed this opportunity, because this would have been a slam dunk. Mm-hmm. Here's the Movie Foot Soldier, one I didn't have.
Oh, you never
originally
had him?
Growing up. No.
Damn.
Very excited to get this one.
That's fun.
Let's see, who's next? Razar. His accessories, he's got that pinkish color to his face and his eyes, as opposed to just a little bit more lifelike. He's got the red eyes.
Okay.
And his nose is painted. It's pink.
It is? It's
yes,
pink?
It's
pink. Not supposed to be pink, though. It's supposed to be black, like a dog.
Oh, it's pink.
Right?
Where are you? I don't know. It's pink.
I don't think that looks bad. That looks so weird. That's not
right.
And
he looks kind of cross-eyed. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
But his accessories are a little darker green than they were originally.
Okay. Well, they were very light.
And then the one thing that they could have done, and they should have done.
Yeah, he had a black nose.
Super Shredder. They should have made him the Chef Boyardee colors.
That would have...
That would have done it.
Pissed people off. It's probably...
It might have.
You know what?
But
the reason they didn't do that is because that's like the retirement plan for everyone that works at Playmates. They have like a case
sure.
of that, so they're gonna unload those. So they would never. Yeah, that original Razar, he's got a black nose because he's a wolf. He's a little puppy wolf. So
Well, there were several variants of this figure too, though. That's the other thing.
Oh, you think they did a pink nose variant? Oh, you know what? I'm seeing a pink nose variant here. That's so interesting. It's grossing me out. Is this like a rare one? Oh, the red nose one is rare. Oh. Well, look at that. And his eyes are red, you said?
His eyes are red.
Okay, then yeah, that's supposed to be
The
they're
rare
red. They're red on the
Razar?
regular one.
No.
The red nose Razar. We can't call him Rudolph because, as we mentioned earlier. All right, well, very cool. And that's
that's a
that's
fun little
Walmart
surprise.
thing. Those boxes
the
are
Amazon
Walmart.
has it too.
Amazon
has it too.
What the?
Yeah.
What is happening?
What
All
the
right.
what?
So, if you
So I
enjoy
got this
that-
just because I'm like, are these gonna see general release? Are they gonna be like those superhero figures? You know, will they be in line? Because I think the next one, we had the movie Turtles. Now we have the 2000 series out
right
of the 4 Turtles, and then where do we
Yeah.
go from there?
I don't know.
So these just, I have such happy memories of getting these figures back in like 1992, 93. And like being like at a soccer game, but being so violently ill that I couldn't play. But I had my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I was just sitting in the back of the car watching the whole team play while I was just like playing toys. Yes, it was great.
Oh, you were like there to give them moral support, but you couldn't play.
Right.
You
Well, like
couldn't
I was like
physically
having
be
like I was having like a fever and like chills, and
damn.
I think my aunt had passed like some toys to me, and she was like, "Here's some figures," and I was like, "Oh my god, the brand new Turtles!"
Wow, she just had new toys ready to go.
Yeah, she had new toys ready to go.
Pulled them out of a purse like Mary Poppins, like, "Hey, go, Betty, feel better.
Feel better. Toys will make you feel better.
A
Yes.
spoonful of toys help the medicine go down." That's what I've always found to be the case. So we've been talking about Pixel Dan a lot in recent episodes, and last week we mentioned, or 2 weeks ago we mentioned that the JDF figure from the White Dragon, the alternate head, kind of looks like Pixel Dan because they got the mohawk. And then I put those clips up on social media and I tagged Pixel Dan thinking he would be like, "Oh, LOL, nothing."
Not a thing.
not acknowledging that we exist. And I'm, at this point I'm sort of like, okay, he either, I don't know what, either like too busy to check, or he just like specifically is ignoring us because he doesn't like us.
Yeah. Or he
Which is,
ignores
whatever.
everybody. He ignores everybody.
maybe-
It's less personal, and he just has, like you said, his core group of people that he engages.
He's got his
with.
core, sure. And we did hear from some people that they've tried to contact him, and radio silence from Pixel Dan. Now, after the show last week, my wife,
behind the scenes.
there's a little behind the scenes. So when you are a reluctant adult, it's a little difficult to shop for you because you basically just buy everything you want. We've talked about this before. If we see it, if you see it, you got to have it.
buy it.
We get it. When there's a birthday or when Christmas is coming up, it's hard to like think of things to say like, "Oh, I want this." So my wife, very creative, points for this. She confessed last week that she reached out to Pixel Dan to try to get him to record a message for us that we could play on the show as a gift. Like a cameo, like if he has, she's like, she wrote a letter here. I'll tell you, I'll read you the letter she wrote.
Oh.
She wrote, "Hi, my husband and his best friend from growing up have a podcast called The Reluctant Adult Podcast. They invoke your name frequently in their show, and I was curious if you had a cameo or would be willing to record a brief message for them as a Christmas present. I'm willing to pay for your time. If that's something you could make happen, they would be thrilled. And I'd seem like the coolest wife. No worries if it's not something you're interested in doing, though. Just thought I'd ask. Thanks for reading." Now, she messaged him on multiple platforms. No response. But even worse, she got his email, which is like admin@pixeldan. Pixel-Dan, something like that. Like it's like listed on his YouTube page. And if there's anything that should be official for Pixel Dan, it's his YouTube page. That's his bread and butter.
Right.
She emails this address It bounces back. Mailer Damien. It's not an active email. He's a ghost. He doesn't exist. He's AI. I don't think Pixel Dan is a real person anymore. I think he's an algorithm.
He could be. Shows up. Yeah, he's a marketing gimmick. He's AI marketing gimmick.
He was created in the early 2000s to see if we could bring back Masters of the Universe.
Yes.
It's failed time and time again. Maybe this time it'll work. So I don't know if he has blocked us. Like, or if anyone mentions our name, he has like a filter in his email. It's like if you see Reluctant Adult, pretend like we don't, someone knocks on your door, you turn off the lights, pretend you're not home, pretend the email address doesn't even exist. So now I'm like, okay, well, I feel like this is a challenge now. I feel like my goal, if we're going to get into New Year's resolutions territory, my resolution for 2024 is to make some sort of contact with Pixel Dan and have him acknowledge that we exist in some satisfying way. And
Okay.
I'm already thinking of ways that we can make this happen. I am willing. This is how far I'm willing to go. We all know that Pixel Dan has another part of him, another side of Pixel Dan. Spencer Powers, professional wrestler, champion professional wrestler, Spencer Powers. You would think that Spencer Powers would like to wrestle in front of new audiences. If you're a wrestler and someone offers you money to wrestle, offers you flight to come down, lodging, if you're a wrestler, you're going to take them up on that. I am willing to start my own professional wrestling promotion, establish characters, establish a champion, have a championship belt created.
Wow.
Invite Spencer Powers to challenge for this belt, crown him the champion, celebrate him, and then pull off the hood. It was me, Pixel Dan. It was me all along.
So that's wow. I was just gonna go to like a convention that he was at and just put him on the spot.
That's probably a better idea. Yeah. That's actually probably a better. That would actually make a lot more sense. Yeah. No. Never mind all that stuff. No. Yeah. Let's just figure out where he's gonna be, and we'll just show up.
That's true.
I guess
in the Illinois and Ohio area, typically.
I do have relatives over there.
Maybe he'll show up. Maybe he'll show up at next year's ChrisCon. Maybe.
I wonder how far, thinking about the continental United States, how far right he's traveled for a convention. Because where's PowerCon?
Isn't that in Illinois?
No, I feel like it's not. I feel like that was further.
I feel like he doesn't go past Pennsylvania.
Yeah, well,
like he bounces obviously all the way over to San Diego in California.
Right, he'll go that
and anywhere in between.
The way to the left. Yeah,
and I'm sure he's traversed down to Florida.
Well, he was doing that Ninja Turtle book, and he had to travel to wherever there's like rare figures.
Oh, sure.
So we need to find out what his next book is, and then buy the most rare figure that could ever be. So he has to come to us. And then we pull off our hoods, and it's like, it was us, Pixel Dan, all along. It was us. As long as I get to pull a hood off,
he can do the real
and
Ghostbusters
scream,
book.
It was
Maybe
us.
that'll be his third book. He'll do a real Ghostbusters, and then I'll contact him, and I'll be like, hey,
Mexican
I've got these
bootlegs.
Yes, I got these spook chasers. I got those. Yeah,
you got the spooked. Oh,
I got them. Get over here,
all right,
Pixel.
Start creating fake accounts on Twitter and adding him and being like, your next book should be real Ghostbusters. I'd love to see those Mexican bootlegs. Okay. All right. We've got a plan. I feel better. We have a plan.
Good.
We have a plan to get Pixel Dan.
A plan of acknowledgement. That's it. It's not to get even with Pixel Dan.
There's nothing to get even with. I just want you. I want to know that you know that we exist.
Well, I mean,
that's all I want. It's all I want for Christmas, Pixel Dan.
He made a mockery of your wife and her gift.
Oh my! You know what?
So I mean,
that's my wife. That's my wife.
Yeah.
How dare you treat my wife like that? You know what? You know what? Now I'm mad. Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome.
We do need revenge.
Yes,
How
we
dare
do.
you besmirch my wife like that? She reached out for Christmas. For Christmas. You've ruined my Christmas, Pixel Dan.
Is he doing his advent calendar this year? I haven't seen much of that.
You know, I think he is because I
From
feel like
him.
I saw the thumbnail.
He does
But
that on his
then-
other account. He has another.
What other account? What?
He has a lesser viewed Pixel Dan
What?
account.
Why?
Yeah.
What is the point of that?
I don't
Is
know.
it personal? It's not personal.
It's not personal.
He's like
but it's-
promoting it like it's a business.
Yeah, through the Pixel Dan. So the Pixel Dan one, like you said, is his bread and butter. But then there's the secondary YouTube account where
It's
he
like,
kind of puts
Just Dan.
he just puts
No
the
Pixel.
stuff that
Sans Pixel.
sans Pixel, 8-bit pixels.
I have so many questions about this man, this Pixel Man. That's the documentary name, Pixel Man.
You know who does like us though?
Yeah, a lot of people.
Well, yeah, plenty of people, but
Yeah.
of toy note and of influencer note is
Yes.
YouTube and Instagram influencer Laura Legends.
She came back from her hiatus just to follow us on Instagram.
Just to
I
follow
felt.
us.
So I felt I'm really hi, Laura. I don't know if you listen to the podcast or you just see I wonder if she saw the video I posted with the T-Rex.
Sure.
The like $15.
Maybe she just liked.
She was like,
maybe she
these are
just
my
liked
kind of people.
the enjoyment I got from that Dreadnoughticus.
Oh, maybe.
That's
yeah, we've had
probably
a
what
lot
it
of we've had a lot of like Jurassic Park content recently.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this right now, Laura, let us know what finally pushed you over the edge to follow us. We're happy to see you back. Like to see some new content from you coming up. Maybe So okay. This is another 2004 bucket list thing. We're making inroads on these people. We got Power Ranger influencers, following us. We had JDF's daughter messaging us on there, being like, "Keep up the good work." The original Pink Ranger, Amy Jo Johnson, retweeting our videos on Twitter.
Wow.
This is all great. In 2024, we got to make it happen. Collector Crush reunion.
Oh.
It's gotta happen, right? We don't know. We don't know if they're still together, and if they're not, we gotta bring them back. We gotta reignite the Collector Crush.
It's so funny. Like if you hadn't mentioned them, they were just to the point of me forgetting about them.
No,
Yeah, you brought it back.
can't forget. You can make all your videos private, but there'll always be. We'll always have our videos where we talk about you that always pop up. Okay. This is 2024 shaping up to be a big year. I'm telling
Hopefully.
you. I'm excited for all this stuff. We're going to Pixel Dan, it's us. We're going to be the Collector Crush. It was us. Ha ha.
Haha, we're the reason you're back together again. Ha ha ha.
We parent trapped you. Okay. Very good. Well, that was exciting. I'm going to give you a chance to talk for a little bit. You saw
boy.
Godzilla Minus One.
I
right?
did. Yes.
All right, talk about that.
It was terrific.
Great.
So,
All right, moving on.
Moving forward. So, I've heard the buzz about Godzilla. We've seen
Specifically
the
this
ones,
one, though.
Specifically this one, yeah, and I've seen most of the newer MonsterVerse stuff that's coming out of, what is it, Legendary? Is it Legendary Pictures that's making those? With
Are these
Kong
the
and
Apple? The one on Apple? Or this is so confusing. So
Yeah.
there's the Apple series
right.
that's like
That-
what is it? It's like all of the monsters.
And it's more of like a direct sequel. It's got John Goodman. It's more of a direct sequel to Skull Island.
Skull Island. Was that King
Skull
Kong?
Island. That was Kong, yes.
Is Kong in this?
Kong is not in Godzilla Minus One. No, by no means.
No. In this Apple thing.
I don't know if he is or not. I think it's just the group, the Project Monarch group that popped up.
Okay.
At the
So
end
this is a continuation of that one that has like 11 from Stranger Things in it. That Godzilla and Heisenberg.
What are you talking about?
Oh my god.
Not Godzilla Minus One. It's its own
No,
thing.
no. I know.
Oh,
we gotta get this straight because this is so confusing.
There's a lot of Godzilla going on.
I don't
now.
even understand how
It's
this
wild.
is allowed to happen. It's like this is worse than Batman at this point.
And there's a new Godzilla and King Kong movie coming out as well.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. They
That
just
was
had a
just
trailer
announced.
for this like buddy team up
Team-up.
where they're running in slow
They're
motion
running-
like
yeah,
Baywatch.
Exactly. Yes.
And he's got like mechanical arm. I'm like,
Right.
And then like you juxtapose that with Godzilla Minus One, which is like, it was just World War II, and like this is very realistic, traumatizing. And then the guy, they're running like Godzilla's running like he weighs 10 pounds. Like, oh
Yeah.
okay. All right, I give up trying to make sense of this. Tell me about Godzilla Minus One.
All right, so Godzilla Minus One, it's essentially, it's not so much a reboot as it is almost a retelling of the original.
Yeah,
The
it's its
original.
own standalone thing.
Yeah, it's its own standalone thing. I don't know if I want to. I kind of want you to go see it. I mean, I don't want you to
I
have
already
to
watched
read
all of the clip. I already watched all the clips
you
on
watched all-
TikTok.
and all the Godzilla centric clips.
Yeah, I saw like the end.
No, it's just like
Yeah,
without
you know
without
how I
getting.
be.
I know how you be. Without getting
I'm
too
like Ryan
spoilery
Reynolds.
about it.
Spoil everything.
No,
Spoil everything.
Well, I don't want to spoil
We'll
it
get
for
to
our
that.
general audience. There might be 2 or 3 people that still want to see it that don't.
It'll be
wanna-
out of theaters by the time the show airs, right? It's like only playing
No.
until the 14th. Yes.
Oh,
it was like
really?
a very limited release and it got extended, but like only till
Oh, I feel like
next
they need
week.
to extend it further because it
be on streaming
looks
right
at
after that.
it looks at a lot of like PTSD from war. It
Right, it's
pays
very-
homage to Jaws. It's hyper realistic.
reality based. Yeah. It plays,
Yes.
it pays homage to Jaws. That's interesting.
It does with all like they say okay, Jaws is like sea based, not Jaws.
Sure.
Of course he's a shark, but no,
Of course.
Godzilla is sea based. So there's a lot of like chasing and luring him with boats and doing all sorts
Wow.
of that.
Oh, interesting.
Oh man, it's a
he
loud
like-
movie. It's a loud movie.
He's like, so in this movie, Godzilla is a metaphor, but he's also real.
So Godzilla was always a metaphor for the.
No,
for-
I know, but like in this movie especially,
in this
like,
movie
it's like they really is a metaphor.
to a degree. So it's post World War II. You imagine World War II
Right.
happened just as it was supposed to happen. You know,
You might
with
want to rephrase
bombs
that.
being-
You might want to phrase that as it actually happened, not as it was supposed to. We
as
would
it
have liked that to
actually
play out
happened.
differently. Yes,
as it actually happened,
Uh-huh.
is what I meant. However, at the very beginning of the movie, there's a kamikaze pilot who
Can't say that. Can you say that?
they said it in the
It's just
movie.
it's just a historical term. I know, but
It's
it
a
was
historical
it was
term.
captions, right?
It's a
It was all
Japanese pilot that was instructed to kill himself.
Okay, thank you. That
Better?
is- Can you say unalived himself just so we're safe on all
There's
bases?
a Japanese pilot. who
Can you
was
say
commanded-
Asian American? Oh, he's not American. Asian.
Is he a Pacific Asian?
He's a Pacific
I'm
Asian
done.
gentleman.
I'm done. This is your.
Are we sure he identifies as a gentleman, human being
He's a person.
from this side of the
people.
world?
So Godzilla is a
Sure.
local legend in this, and he's smaller. He's a dainty Godzilla.
How small?
I'd say
can hold him in my
probably
hands.
the size of like a T-Rex. So if you picture
Oh.
T-Rex from Jurassic Park, that's
Well,
Godzilla.
that's like the Matthew Broderick one, like, right?
At the beginning. He then gets irradiated by nuclear testing
Oh,
in the Pacific, and that
okay.
causes him to grow.
damn. I wish you didn't tell me that. That's a good plot point. Wow. Yeah, I want to see this. I won't. I just know I won't because there's no time. But the clips I've seen on TikTok make it look excellent. I don't love reading. Actually, let me take that back. I think I because I have closed captions on when I watch TV, so I think I would actually appreciate having the closed captions.
It's
So,
definitely
maybe I would
not
enjoy
distracting
this
because
more.
it's large enough and big that
Sure.
you're not
Okay.
you're just standing right in front of the words. But
Do they do like fun animation with the quick captions? Like it pops in, or like does like like on TikTok, like the words will spiral out. Like they make that part of the fun.
No,
That's
no.
what they should start doing.
Something will pop up, like so. Say if it's like a sign that will pop up
Yeah.
at the base of it, you'll be like, "Oh, it says stop." Okay,
Oh,
I
there you
get
go.
it.
That's fun. It's not just a red octagon, or is it?
Right.
It's like these people are real stupid. We need to
So
say
it's
this
like-
as stop too.
It's definitely like an adult centric. It's not like just like a kids movie. It's got Godzilla in it, but Godzilla's in it for maybe 15 minutes of the total 2 hours.
Now I
But
don't need to see it.
that's how all Godzillas are, I feel like. But it's got a lot with like survivor's guilt and just destruction aftermath and things of that nature. So you're like, this is just like really realistic. And it was a lot of it was enjoyable. The portions with Godzilla were excellent.
Good CGI.
I'm happy. CGI decent enough, I would say.
It was made for like $15.
I know it was. It was made
So-
for next to nothing. You know what it is?
The fact that
You
it
know
can
what
even
it
look
is?
good at all.
So they do a good job with Godzilla, but it's one of those situations where if you look too closely at like the crowd,
Okay.
the crowd suffers from
AI
like the
crowd.
rendering where like one individual is like running, but it's very like static, and you're like, what's
Well,
that
also
guy
keep in
doing
mind-
down there? He's hopping around.
Keep in mind, this is the country that gave us Power Rangers, so that may just be like part of it. Like they may want it to look a little bit like that. How about a Godzilla movie, but it's the Dragon Zord from Power Rangers?
Oh, that's
And
something.
then That's how you reboot Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Are you listening, Hasbro? Another gold nugget for you. Gold ticket idea. Godzilla, but it's because the Dragon Zord, he's still out there, but there's no Green Ranger to control him. So something just awakens the Dragon Zord, and suddenly he doesn't know where he is. He's in a strange place. It's like when Captain America woke up in present day. I don't know what I'm doing.
He always came out of the water, right? That was his
He
thing.
came out of the water, and then he would grab the
was he doing down
smokestack
there?
that was like that's where he lives. He's Godzilla. He's literally Godzilla.
Metal Guard. I wish there was a Metal Godzilla.
He's Mecha Godzilla.
Oh
That's
yeah,
the whole thing.
I know.
Oh yeah. And he grabs the candy striped smokestack and goes like every time they would use that animation. I was like, damn, do they fix the smokestack each time, or is he finding a new building every time? So well, I'm still confused by all the Godzillas. I would like to see. I remember liking that Matthew Broderick one from the.
It's
90s.
a fun movie. It came out.
That was just a fun movie time. It was like
Yes.
Men in Black, like all these big blockbusters. and
Your
there would
summer
be,
tentpole movies.
there would be like collector cups with the Godzilla topper on it, just like fun
Right.
stuff to have. It's just fun to be a kid during that time.
It was.
Yeah, not like now where it sucks.
No,
Poor
not
kids.
when you're
Poor
like,
kids.
wow, this Godzilla movie is so real and the trauma attached to it. You
I
can
know.
really- You're like,
Godzilla
yeah,
has
man.
trauma.
This is like real life. Watching them dig through rubble trying to find bodies. Yeah.
When Godzilla introduces you to the concept of survivor guilt, you're like, damn, we had an after credit scene with baby Godzilla as promised. I mean, what do you got? Survivor guilt. Did they explain the name of the movie Minus One? Like, I've looked it up because I was like, what is this? Did they explain what that means in the movie?
So nearest I could figure.
Okay.
And
Do you know what it
going to
means?
be incorrect. Barely. No.
All right, well, I'll explain it to you then. So I guess
Go
they
for it.
don't. No,
They
you tell
don't
me.
know?
I want to hear what you think because you saw the movie.
I did.
You were just like, this is just a weird title.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
But no.
okay. I mean,
So
fair
it's the
enough.
70th. It's the 70th anniversary of Toho Godzilla.
Okay.
My thought was that it's a
Yeah.
prequel.
Okay.
Takes place before Godzilla,
Gotcha.
the first Godzilla.
Okay. No, that's completely wrong.
Completely. All right.
It's actually it has a very meaningful meaning. It's that, as you know, World War II just happened.
Yep.
Japan has been brought down to 0. Godzilla pops up. Can't go up. You got to go down. We've gone from 0 to -1. It's the whole trauma thing. It's like we're worse. We're at our worst level. Things just got even worse. So
I
-1.
gotcha.
So
Dang.
it's it's pretty deep, right? When you think about it that
Yeah.
way.
Oh.
Yeah, right? Imagine if you had known that going in. Maybe they should explain that. I don't know. But
Explain anything. They make all their
Like
money back and
Godzilla.
be happy with
I
it.
like
It's great.
Godzilla in this. You gonna get a sequel to that? I guess not. Or maybe. They got to bring King Kong in. He's swinging in. They're running in slow motion.
Oh God.
It's all like happy-go-lucky in the next
It's like,
one.
where the hell are these coming from? I'm like, did these all do so good that they can warrant another one? I was like, wow.
I know. I don't really understand.
That
Because I
last
feel
one
like
that
they
came
never
out, I
do
didn't think
super
was
well.
that great. No, I didn't think it
I
was
know.
that
I don't think they
great
ever
with-
do.
with
They're never
11.
that good.
And it's like, oh,
It's
here's
just like
another one.
someone. They must do well in other countries, and that matters
They must.
more. Like China.
Right.
People are just making movies for China because that's where all
Yeah.
the money is. All the people.
Next, it's gonna be King Kong, Godzilla, and Fast and Furious all lumped into one.
I mean, that may be fine. I have never cared for King Kong. Do you like King Kong?
I've enjoyed King Kong, sure.
I don't get it at all. Because the original King Kong, it's like they had to do something that was kind of realistic because no one would believe if it was like an alien or something. Like they had to have like a monkey. It's like, we know what monkeys look like. But it's like, imagine a really big monkey and he climbs a building.
Yeah. Bigify
So it's like, it's always just been sort of like, this is like bare minimum monster to me. Like it shouldn't even count.
I feel like I gravitated a lot more towards King Kong because of the dinosaur element.
Yeah.
I always
mean,
found
that's
that
fair enough.
a lot of
Fair
fun.
enough.
It was like that proto-Earth with all the...
Sure.
And that's what I liked mostly about the Adrian Brody one, the Peter Jackson one that a lot of people don't really like, but I like that one. Especially the Skull Island stuff.
They all mixed together in my head. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Which one was Loki in?
Loki was
one? That was a more
he was in
recent one?
Kong Skull Island, the one with John Goodman, the one that this Apple TV show is based off of or continued off of.
Yeah. See, I just don't. And then it's like they always fluctuate how big the characters are. It's like, oh, King Kong's the same size as Godzilla. Like what?
Yeah.
Like that seems stupid. Like he doesn't need
They
to
made
be
a
that
really
big.
big King Kong out of that one.
I just don't care. I did.
No
like
one's gonna make a monkey
Confrontation
out of you
Universal.
again.
I hate every ape I see, from Chimpan A to Chimpan U. That's also a letter. I got an email this week from Hasbro that my Pulse Premium membership is ending.
Yep.
So it's been 1 year since they tricked me into re-upping because they made it seem like if I didn't, I wasn't gonna get the like extras for the Proton pack.
You were gonna get your slime
Because it was like the fine print was like must be a current member at time of shipment.
Right.
So it's like I was a member to order it, but then it's like, well, I'm not gonna risk not renewing and then miss out on my slime that I end up selling for more than what the membership cost. So at least I made some money. But other than the Proton pack, I don't think I ordered anything. I don't think I've ordered anything from Hasbro Pulse since the Proton pack.
I'm gonna let
Because
mine.
the sales started getting terrible.
Right. I'm gonna let mine slide.
35%. Ooh. Yeah. There's no reason. They didn't even try. They know people aren't going to do it.
Right.
There was like no. Usually when you want someone to renew, you'd be like, "Oh, you can use it for this." There was like nothing. It was like there's nothing going on right now on Hasbro Pulse.
What about the? Are you gonna get the Ghost Trap? Are you gonna do it?
No. I
No.
don't care enough. I might buy it when it comes out and like spend a little bit more money on it, but it'll be a year later. So it'll be like, well, money's worth less. So it'll seem like paying the original price. Mm-hmm. Are you gonna do it? You get all the little side things now.
I know everything is backed. I haven't.
Yeah.
It's approaching
How
20,000.
much time you got left? A couple days?
I think probably a few days. Yeah.
It may be too late. Let me look up right now.
Any additional backer, they should throw some love over to the Cobra Mothership. That's what they should do. No.
Fuck that thing. 2 days.
2 days.
And 28 minutes. 20,000 backers.
Oh, it made it to 20. That's good.
Good for it. So what's the next HasLab for
don't know.
Ghostbusters?
I closed
Did
my
you get your
eyes.
hiss?
It hasn't come yet. It's supposed to be on Tuesday.
You gonna open it?
Probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Big news. Cobra Mothership finally got past that 1,400 mark. It's now at 1,508.
Wow.
So with 2 days left, it only needs to get to 4,000.
It's like watching our TikTok followers grow.
I know. I don't even care about the followers. It doesn't even affect how many views you get because it all comes from the FYP. So it's like better to have fewer followers because there's more people on the FYP. I just think it's interesting that that Brian hooked up with Pixel Dan to do this big press tour, and it didn't move the needle one bit.
On the G.I. Joe mothership?
Yeah, because they did
really?
the O-ring thing. Because they did that. They like announced the O-ring thing, and I think that was supposed to be like, look, you need your O-ring figures for your mothership.
He's not even a G.I. He's not even a G.I.
I know
Joe fan.
why.
He's not even. You could have found somebody much better.
You could have found two people much better. The Reluctant Adult Podcast.
Yeah,
everybody's coming on board. Everybody wants to be a reluctant adult.
We're gonna be the golden boys of 2024. That's
we got people.
That's it.
We got people left and right being like, goat toy collector. Someone said we were the goat toy collector, and like I don't know what that means, but I think it's a good thing.
That is a good thing.
It's a good. We want to be goats. We are the goats.
We want to be goats. And how do they even see that? I've got the same background all the time.
Well, because our wealth of knowledge, the things we talk about.
Oh, fair enough. Yes.
It doesn't have to be what you actually collect. We collect knowledge and information, and we present. That's our gift to you every week. We present you with the knowledge. We've like curated all this knowledge through the week, and we present you with what you need to know.
Oh, that's good.
What else? So much.
There is a lot.
Hot Toys dropped this bomb that they're doing X-Men, like comic X-Men, and they have Wolverine for a very reasonable price. It was like $150 or something.
That's not a Hot Toys price.
I know, it's crazy. So I don't know if like this is a new thing. It said it had like bullet points about like the good things about it, and the first one was entry grade. So to me, that sounds like this is like this is like entry grade. This is a good way to enter this product. Like it's the less expensive version of it, so it doesn't come with all the bells and whistles. But like, who needs them? I'd rather have a cheaper product than like like a half of a Sentinel stand or something. I don't need that junk. Just give me the figure. I just want the figure.
So at that point, what are you cutting out? Like licensing to a celebrity face and things of that nature?
No, I think usually with Hot Toys they just like throw in all this like a million hands. You get a million hands. Probably get like battle damage face, like so they have like instead of doing a whole head, they just have the jaw comes off because you only see that. So there's no like unmasked head. But again, you can get like $150 for a Hot Toys figure in 2023 is insane. That's like way too cheap. Like it makes me think this is not legit, but it is. So hop on that. Johnny Gargano, WWE wrestler toy collector. His new action figure is in stores now. He was actually home for the holidays and he found his toy in Target and he signed it. But more than that, he went up and he actually bought it, brought it back to the toy aisle with the gift receipt and a bow, and he hid it. So if you follow him on social media, he did a little video so you could run to that Target and get the figure. So it's like it's paid for it as the gift receipt, but I would still feel weird like walking out of Target. Like this was paid for. It's paid for.
You feel weird enough walking out of Target with nothing in your hands, let alone walking out with something that's paid for.
Well, that's the thing. But then it's like, do you put it in a bag? Like, I just don't want imagine the scenario where it's like this is such a nice thing, but then somebody gets tackled because they thought they were stealing.
That's why I don't let my kids. That's why I don't let my kids bring their toys into the Targets at all.
Right.
They don't care. At the end of the day, I don't think any of the Target crew cares.
No, but there might be that one guy. But those people all probably work for Walmart. They're the ones that like are so gung ho about stopping people.
I'd be like, you can stop me, but I said I want to see your CCTV stuff. Then at that point,
right.
Let me see the footage. Let me see. I want to see my kid walk in with the toy.
You have your shirt that says all the things.
Yes.
What is it? What are the different things they have to like provide?
Selection, concealment, and like intent.
SCI.
Or follow through.
SCIF.
Yes.
We have syphilis. No, that's worse.
Sorry.
Yeah, so that's fun. Go get your toy if you live in Cleveland.
Go track it down.
Somewhere there. If you knew what was going on, you saw the signed figure, that's great. But if you didn't know and you saw a signed figure, would you assume that it was real, or it's just some lunatic signing figures, defacing, graffitiing these figures?
It's like I would go in and like autograph everything, all the Landos, Billy D. Williams.
Yes.
At least some Billy did sign them. but
Hey, just write Billy. It's
Just write Billy.
Oh, I don't know. Most signatures you can't even make out the name anyway.
That's true. Where did he hide it? Did he hide it behind Bluey stuff? Like I would have just
I
put
feel
it
like it was
back
behind
in.
diapers.
I would have just. No one's gonna find that there. I would have just.
Well,
put it
that's
back
the
with
point.
The figures.
No. Here's the thing. But he wanted someone that follows on social media to find it. He
okay.
didn't want just some rando because they'd be like, "What the hell is this?" and not know.
I got.
First of all, that it was real and that it was paid for.
Yeah.
So that's going on.
Does he have enough of? I mean, I guess he has enough of a following to get a figure, but it's like, do you think?
Yeah,
Did somebody get
he's
it? Did somebody find the figure?
I didn't see the follow up. I wonder.
Oh.
I mean, you would assume that the person that found it has social media, but I
Sure.
don't know. We'll have to update next week if there is one. Everybody is spoiling the new Deadpool movie
Except me. I don't know anything about it.
because it seems like they're filming in this one location and like everything is happening. So like in the beginning, you were talking about how you thought it was like in Loki, how it's all the trash.
Yeah.
But it's like the Fox logo. So then everyone was like, oh, they're bringing back the Fox X-Men, and then this will be like their swan song. But then they had even more characters from that Fox X-Men show up, some vehicles from other projects in the Marvel universe, and that it just was like way too much. Because now that the strikes are over, they can go back and film all the stuff that they need to get this movie done. So Ryan Reynolds actually had to reach out to us, not us specifically, but just the internet, and be like, please stop.
Really good
but also,
press.
right? He sent us a Christmas card. If we had Mint Mobile, he would send us a Christmas card.
Oh, nice.
The reason that Deadpool got made in the first place is because somebody, it was probably Ryan Reynolds, leaked that footage
Right.
from Comic-Con. Like, that's how this happened. So it's like, even in his tweet, he's like, the reason Deadpool happened is because of leak. So he's trying to have fun with it, and he leaked some photos of like Mickey Mouse on set and like all this stuff. So like, on the one hand, trying to have fun with it, also trying to like muddy the waters. It's like, well, what can you believe? What can you believe? Maybe this other stuff isn't real. Maybe it's all fake. So he's trying his best. But the point people were bringing up is no one has ever not seen a movie that they want to see because of a leak. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it may lessen your enjoyment if it was going to be like a big surprise. But then you think about movies like Spider-Man No Way Home. That was definitely an intentional leak to find out that the other Spider-Men were going to be in it. There's no way that Marvel didn't let that out, because that helped more than any marketing ever could have done. Like, people wanted to see that.
Right,
So
because then
amazing-
at that point, nobody's spoiling it and be like, oh, did you see that new Spider-Man? Oh, did you know who was in it? You knew right away. You're like, oh, wait. And then at that point, your mind goes, well, what the hell are they going to do with them? And how are they going to be?
Yeah, how's it going to be? But, like, could you imagine a world where you went to see that not knowing anything, and all those Spider-Men popped up? We're like, what the hell?
What?
Your mind would, you probably wouldn't even be able to enjoy the movie, because you'd be like calling people like, you got to see this movie. You're never going to guess.
It's like me with Godzilla.
That's
You
not
won't
the world
believe
we
who
live
showed
in.
up. Godzilla.
Godzilla was in Godzilla. Oh my god. Randy from NECA opened a store, collectible store.
That's good.
So if you ever wanted to meet Randy from NECA, I think
If you ever wanted to blame him for Loot Crate in person,
yeah. If you ever, I mean, if you miss him on Twitter, now you can just go like talk to him in person and see what's going on.
where's my Loot Crate, Randy? Where is it?
Where's my loot crate, Randy?
I found your
Where's
mailing
my Loot
address,
Crate?
Randy.
Right.
No, we all got our Loot Crates eventually, and we're just underwhelmed. It's okay.
Yeah, I really was expecting to be able to like fund one of the kids' college tuition with that, but I don't think it really ended up that way. Like,
We all
people
can't be. They all
just got
can't be
mad at it.
spirits of Splinter. That was the crate you needed to fund.
Is that still
Yeah,
up
he's
there?
still,
Did that come
yeah,
down?
no, it hasn't come down really. That one commands the premium.
It's fine. It's so funny because it's like I remember them pushing that and just being like, nah, I don't want that. And like never thinking like, oh, this
Right.
might be worth a lot of money. Maybe just get one. It's like it's never the things
but you're like, Danny from the first one? Yeah, let's get Danny.
Get Danny.
Get Danny.
It's like, well, I got Dark Turtle. Yeah, $300, still going. Oh, well. Live and learn.
Oh, well.
But we never do. We never do. Hey, it's been 27 years since Shadows of the Empire. I just thought that was worth a note.
That deserves its 27 years. I mean, get back to me when it's 30 and I really feel old.
I know, we're really...
I could dedicate a whole show just to Shadows of the Empire and the buzz around that.
Well, put it on your calendar. In 3 years.
In 3 years.
We'll have Paul from...
episode 750.
I know. Do that math. I can't.
Yeah,
I can't.
no.
You think we'll still... Here's a question for you. How many years more do you think we'll do the show for?
Until you say you're not doing it anymore. Because I'll always show up.
You'll just show up?
I'll always show up.
It's like, what would cause us to end the show? Would it be a falling out, or like one of us would get an exclusive deal? With
Yeah,
some,
maybe
like,
if you got an
television
exclusive
network?
deal, leave me behind. Yeah, that would be it.
Yeah, I
That
can't.
would be
I'm
it.
sorry, I'm not allowed to do the podcast anymore.
Yeah,
Maybe
sorry. I signed a DNR. Not a DNR.
No.
What is
DNR, do not resuscitate.
Yeah.
That's what's going to end the show.
You
signed my DNR, and then that was it.
What the hell?
You were
What
like,
the
I
hell
can't
was
do
it?
it anymore. I
What
can't
the
do
hell
the
is
show
it then?
anymore.
Not a DNR. What am I thinking of?
NDA.
An ND, yeah, a non-disclosure. I was like, I thought I was signing a non-disclosure, and it was an NDR. Oops.
It's like when
He accidentally killed himself.
when you wear those Livestrong bracelets, and that's like what the yellow bracelet meant, like do not resuscitate at hospitals. People were, well, he's got the yellow bracelet. It's not the official one, but no. The more likely thing is there's some sort of law in the state that says you can't podcast anymore, and that's what would end it. It's like I got to move to keep doing my podcast. Do like radio, do like pirate radio
podcasts. Yes,
right.
Go out
exactly.
go out to open waters. Go out to there's no law in international waters.
Godzilla pops up.
There you go.
All comes back.
How you doing?
All right, Bill. Anything else for this big week?
Sad news if you're a Star Trek fan.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I was gonna end on a downer.
I'm
Thankfully,
sorry.
no one here is a Star Trek fan. So.
No, just me, and I only collected these when they were on clearance. So Playmates has announced that they are ceasing production of their Star Trek line after 12 releases. So
12 figures or 12
12
series?
12 figures.
Well, that's not even worth
So
mentioning.
barely enough characters to make a full bridge set.
It was those V crotches. Nobody wanted that.
I'm kind of, Star Trek to me is starting to have a little bit of a resurgence. There's some good stuff out there that really could have probably lent. But you know what? At the same time, maybe it would allow other companies to kind of dip into the pool a little bit and make figures from those. But
maybe McFarlane will release a third figure.
There you go. A third figure would be good. But yeah, no, their releases, they hung around. They may have had they had a Kirk, a Spock, and a Khan at Star Trek. Mm-hmm. Not at Star Trek, at Walmart.
Yeah,
and they just had pegs full of them.
Yeah.
And they did not move, and that was all they had.
Well, then I saw them, and it was a
or
Data,
they'd be in the collector's section at Target, and that would be it.
That's always confusing when the regular figures are over there.
Right.
Like, who did this? This is not right. Shouldn't be here.
Right.
But there was one of the figures, I can't remember who it was, but they had two very different complexions.
Oh.
But then it was like equal quantity of each. Like, which one is the running change? I don't know which. Like, they both looked wrong. Which one looked better?
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, that's sad news.
It's sad
news
nice
that they officially announced like something Hasbro would never do. Like, they haven't come out to say like Power Rangers is done.
So. But on a good
Starting
news,
lineup is done.
Check in next week when I unveil my Grail purchase.
Oh.
Yes.
Are you going to tell me after the show what it is?
I'll tell you after the show. It's exciting for me, but yes. So tune in next week.
If you're on our Patreon, tune in for the after show. $9.99 a minute. That's all it costs to be in our Patreon. All right, Bill. All right, everybody. Well, you know what we say. We don't want to grow up, but we already did. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye, everyone.